Surittama, a supreme well-wisher, Bhutva, becoming, Dvijavara, an excellent Brahmana, Tvam, you, Why, indeed, Mam, to me, Upaishasi, will come, Kevalam, exclusively. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Disciples of Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O King, in your very next life, you will become an excellent Brahmana, the greatest well-wisher of all creatures, and certainly come to me alone. Purport. Sri Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Surdam sarva bhutanam nyatva mam shantim ruchyati. A person attains peace by understanding me to be the well-wishing friend of all living beings. Lord Krishna and his pure devotees work together to rescue the fallen souls from the ocean of illusion. This is the real purport of the Krishna consciousness movement. Thus ends the purport of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 51st chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Deliverance of Muchkunda. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padagamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatta Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Amine Gaura Tushe Nama. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Ganjana Gaurangi Radhe Runda Vaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Nama Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakturinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you everybody for being present for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Though you had so many other options, what you could do, but you choose to come here for Srimad Bhagavatam class. So thank you for your choice. And I seek blessings of all devotees assembled here so that I can speak something for my own purification. Here we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, chapter 51, entitled Deliverance of Muchkunda. We have been seeing that Muchkunda is a great king. He is son of Mahandata. So he was from Treta Yuga. And now this is the end of Dwapar Yuga, where he is meeting Krishna. So it is mentioned that Muchkunda, when he was young, he happened to meet Garga Muni. Garga Muni, who was a priest of Yadu dynasty, and he was one who made the birth name giving ceremony and birth calculations and all that predictions he gave. So he was Garga Muni is considered very great, exalted, saintly person, great astrologer, great devotee. So it is said that I was hearing lecture by Rompad Maharaj. So he was explaining how Muchkunda got seed of bhakti from Garga Muni. And he also gave prediction about his life. And he predicted that you will be able to see Supreme Person God in this very life. So when he heard this prediction, Muchkunda was so happy. And he was living his life with great anticipation. When will that day come when I will be able to see Supreme Person of Godhead? Later on, we know how he became a great devotee, and how when one time demigods were in great trouble, they were defeated by demons, and they had no able commander in chief. So they requested Muchkunda to become their commander. And under his able leadership, he was able to save demigods from attack of demons. And later on, when demigods got an able commander in form of Kartikeya, then they said, "Thank you very much. So now, if you want, you can now go back to earth." So they were extremely pleased with his wonderful service. So they naturally said that we would like to give you benediction. So please ask any benediction, but any benediction other than liberation. So Devatas cannot give liberation from cycle of birth and death, because they themselves are bound in cycle of birth and death. We can give benediction to others what we have power to. So demigods have lots of material power, so they can give some material benefits. So they said, whatever benediction you want, please ask. And Muchkunda, actually, he was a great devotee, and he was not interested in any much benedictions, but he was tired, and he just wanted to take rest. Sometimes we see when there's long camp or long picnic or yatra or festival or long events where there's a lot of service, devotees feel very tired and they want to take rest. So he was also very tired and he wanted to take rest. In one of the purports it's mentioned, but he had a doubt that Indra may come and disturb my sleep. Because if again demons attack, now he's saying, okay, no problem, you go back. But if again some problem comes, he will again wake me up. And he really did not want to be disturbed. He wanted to really properly take rest. So just to scare Indra, he had asked for this benediction that please bless me, that I can sleep, and anybody who wakes me up, I can burn to him to ashes. And Indra and all devatas agreed, and they gave him the blessings. So that's how Muchkunda was sleeping in that cave for many years. The person who has slept for longest hours in human history, as we know, is not Kumbhakaran. Kumbhakarna was also known for sleeping, but is actually this Muchkanda. He slept for many lakhs of years. Now imagine somebody sleeping. Imagine we sleep, and if we don't eat, will we survive? One day you don't eat, 1 month you don't eat, and you just sleep. One will survive. So he's sleeping for lakhs of years. Doesn't seem that when he got up he was weak and then he was tired and he's saying, "Arey, itne din se khaya nahi main," Either where is food? Where is food? Imagine if one is not eaten for long, as soon as he gets up, what will think? Where is food? So we don't find that he's hungry like that. Or we see great sages, rishis, even demons do a lot of austerities. They don't eat for so many thousands of years, lakhs of years. So maybe ordinarily people like us, if we just sleep for some time, we may become very hungry, and or sometimes maybe, but they are very exalted people. Even Hiranyakashipu, he was not eating for lakhs of years, and still he was alive by his mystic powers. So anyway, he was sleeping for so many years, and doesn't seem that there was some food arrangement, but he was nourished. We know ultimately everybody is nourished by Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we are in the womb of mother, we did not make any arrangements for our nourishment. Krishna made the arrangement. So ultimately Krishna makes arrangement of nourishment to everybody. So rather, when we sleep also, we also actually get nourished and rejuvenated in sleep. So when we get up, we become fresh, and that rejuvenation is provided by Supreme Lord. So imagine for lakhs of years, no lion or tiger also came. Imagine he's in cave in forest. Anything can happen, no? Lion could come. In lakhs of years, no lion came, no tiger came, no jackals came. You see, jackals are very expert in eating dead corpse or this thing, Or we don't find there was an ant hill. Here we don't see that there was an ant hill. Like we see Hiranyakashipu was doing tapasya, and there was ant hill practically, because so imagine we sleep in one room and all devotees go out for 1 month, and after 1 month they come and open the door, and we are just sleeping for 1 month. What all things may happen, There will be lizards, and there will be so many cobwebs, mosquitoes, and so many other living entities will be there. So like Hiranyakashipu's body was eaten by actually ants. So but it's amazing that nothing happened. It doesn't show that his body was eaten because of lakhs of years being there by ants, or maybe some jackal came, or lion came, or tiger came and ate, or something happened like that, and his sleep was not disturbed by any of these things. So point is that we see in Vedic times, people had that understanding that if we that we are all dependent on God. Like we see, even Dhruva, a small young boy, went to forest fearlessly. In Vedic time, we see sages, anybody who wants to search for, they are going in dense forest, which is a very dangerous place. There are lions and tigers and also many things. But they have that confidence that yes, Krishna will protect me. And actually Krishna protects. Saintly people are there in the forest, and their snakes are there, cobras are there, lions are there, tigers are there, but they don't disturb saintly people. Saintly people don't disturb them, they don't disturb saintly people. So it is said there is a Paramatma in heart of saintly person, and there is Paramatma in heart of lion and tiger also. So Paramatma in heart of lion, tiger tells don't disturb this person, somebody is envious, somebody is sinful, maybe lion and tiger may inspire, attack, but especially those who are engaged in tapasya and forest and all these things, they are actually protected by Lord, because somebody is taking step towards go to God, God also takes care of it. So this world is not going just by chance, but everything is controlled by Supreme Lord and arranged by Supreme Lord. So any sincere person tries to take some steps towards God, God protects. So without understanding God, it's very difficult to reconcile many things in this world, or many questions in life we will not be able to answer. So many doubts may come, but when we understand presence of God and God's inconceivable potencies and God's merciful nature, so many things can get reconciled. When we understand Muchkunda is a great devotee, and so naturally God, Krishna must have protected him. No untoward incident happened, and he was also blessed by all the devatas that he can get good rest. So naturally they must have also made all the arrangement. So it's not that it's just cave. There are devatas also watching, and there ultimately Supreme Lord is there. But in today's world, because we don't have faith in devatas, and we don't have faith in God, so much fear and so much anxiety comes, and we think how I will maintain, so many questions come. But if you have just faith in Supreme Lord, if you have faith in higher powers in the world, so many anxieties can be taken care of. This world is not just going by chance and just whimsically happening. The laws of nature, there are superior powers, and there are principles. One lives by some higher principles. One can get blessings, one can get empowerment, one can get protection, one can get special mercy. So here we see Muchkunda was protected for millions of years, and he could sleep nicely, and then finally Krishna used him to kill Kalayavana, and then Krishna gave him his beautiful darshan to Muchkunda. And when Muchkunda saw Krishna, he was extremely amazed to see the beautiful features of Krishna. Just by seeing him, he could understand somebody great. He was thinking, is it Devata, some predominating deity of some planet? But already he had seen all of them actually. Most of Indra and Chandra, Varun, he knew all of them. Or he is Supreme Lord. And it is at that time he remembered Gargamuni's prediction that I will be able to see Lord. Immediately, maybe he is Supreme Lord himself. So then he humbly speaks, and he introduced himself first. As other day, Bhakti Damodar Maharaj was saying, whenever we meet a superior person, we can't ask, who are you? First we have to introduce, who am I? And after one's introduction, then one can humbly ask about other person. So Muchkunda humbly introduced himself. Though he was such a great Kshatriya warrior who have helped demigods, he is saying, I am Kshatriya Bandhu. I am not a great, I am so-called Kshatriya, Kshatriya Bandhu. So this is actually sign of a civilized person. Civilized person humble. Uncivilized people are very proud and puffed up. So he's a civilized king, so naturally he's feeling himself very unqualified, and he's saying, I'm Shatrabandhu. And he tells, I am son of Mandata. And then he tells, and then he inquires about Krishna. And the Krishna then talks about himself. He said, nobody can tell you about my birth and activities. I have so many names and so many activities, but anyway, now I have come on request of Brahma, and I have appeared as son of Anakdundubi, Vasudev, So I am also called as Vasudeva. And Krishna says, I have killed this Kalanimi who was born as Kamsa. And I also killed Pralamba and other enemies of the. So he's saying Pralamba was killed by Balramji. But Krishna here it says that no, I have killed. Jai Shishi Nitai Gauranga ki Jai. So I have killed Pralamba. So we see Krishna and Balram are not two, but they are one Supreme Lord. Balram is also Krishna's expansion. So if Balram does something, Krishna can say, I have only done, Like Vishnu does something, Krishna can say, I have done creation. So though he may expand expansion, may do creation, but still Krishna can say, I have done. Because it's expansion only. Similarly, Krishna is saying, I have killed Pralamba, Pralamba was killed by Balaram, na? But Krishna is saying that because that's also true because Balaram is just Krishna's expansion. In that sense, he has only killed. And he said, this barbarian king Kalevana was now killed by you, by your glance. And Krishna says, since in the past you repeatedly prayed to me, I have personally come to this cave to show you mercy, for I am affectionately inclined to my devotees. Twaham Bhakta Vatsala. I am Bhakta Vatsal. So Krishna is giving his introduction, I am Bhakta Vatsal. I am very favorably inclined towards devotees. And you are my devotee. And you have prayed for me repeatedly previously. So I have come to show you mercy. And then Krishna is telling, oh my dear Muchkunda, now choose some benediction from me. O saintly king, I'll fulfill all your desires. One who has satisfied me need never again lament. We see in this world, we try to satisfy so many people. They are satisfied, then they bless us, we are satisfied, and then again we become miserable, again we lament, For millions of lifetime, we are trying to satisfy so many people. Isn't it? How much struggle people do to satisfy other person. Material life is very difficult life. You don't satisfy your boss, your life can become hellish. And people try so hard to satisfy their boss. They get some, petty benefits. Bhajahure mana Srinandanandan. That I have served wicked people. First, what is that? Vifale Sebi, Krupana Durjana. So many Krupana and Durjans I have served. But still, I am not satisfied. Again, we end up lamentation. After serving so many Krupan Durjans, later on we lament, why did I serve him? It was not worth serving him. Why did I do such wrong activity for his pleasure? We see Karna was later lamenting, oh, why did I spoke such harsh words just to please Duryodhana? I should not have done. It was very inappropriate. So sometimes when we have materialistic masters, wrong masters, one may try to do wrong things just to please them, satisfy. But then one laments, oh, but if somebody tries to serve Krishna, please Krishna, and if somebody is able to satisfy Krishna, then he becomes completely satisfied and he will never have to again lament. Anyone who has become sincere devotee of Krishna, serve Krishna, he will never think, oh, why did I serve Krishna? Is there any history? Any devotee, he dedicated his life and then finally said, why did I dedicate my life to Krishna? I should not have served Krishna. No. But we see, anybody who serves anybody else, in end he thinks, why did I waste my time? So Krishna is telling, Mam prasanno janakashin na bhuya riti sochitam. So if you serve me, satisfy me, you will never have to lament again. Isn't it amazing? Everybody is struggling to find a worthy master. मैं क्या करूं, कौन सा जॉब लूं, किसको सेवा करूं ताकि मैं लाइफ लॉन्ग चिंता रहित रहूं, लाइफ लॉन्ग I don't have to lament again. Isn't it? So here Krishna is saying, anybody satisfies me, he will be fully satisfied and he will never have to lament again in life. That means if you don't serve Krishna and satisfy Krishna, we'll regret and lament in the end. So when Krishna introduced himself, then Sukadeva Goswami said, Muchkunda bowed down to the Lord when he heard this. Remembering the words of sage Garga, he joyfully recognized Krishna to be Supreme Lord Narayan. The king then addressed him as follows. Shri Muchkunda said, O Lord, people of this world, both men and women, are bewildered by your illusory energy. Unaware of their real benefit, they do not worship you, but instead seek happiness by entangling themselves in family affairs, which are actually sources of misery. So, Lord asks, my dear Lord, my dear Muchkunda, you ask any benediction. You are my devotee and I am very favorably inclined towards devotees. So you ask any benediction you want. I have come to satisfy you. So immediately Muchkunda start telling, oh, all the people in this world are bewildered by your energy and they are entangled in material affairs. So in that sense, he is immediately making point clear that I am not going to ask any material benediction, my dear Lord. Because these material benedictions, I had enough material enjoyment in life. I have made enough material success in my life. And that is just all material success, material pleasures, material achievement are actually sources of misery only. This is what Muchkunda is saying here. And then he says, that person has an impure mind who, despite having somehow or other automatically obtained the rare and highly evolved human form life, does not worship your lotus feet. Like an animal that has fallen into blind well, such a person has fallen into darkness of material home. So he's saying anybody who has received human form life and he doesn't worship Supreme Lord, he's just like animal and he's simply wasting his life. And then he says, I am that animal. I have wasted all this time, O unconquerable one, becoming more and more intoxicated by my domain and opulence as an earthly king, misidentifying the mortal body as a self, becoming attached to children, wives, treasury, and land. I suffered endless anxiety. So this is what actually generally happens whenever one comes close to Supreme Lord. Naturally, one feels very humble. And here, Muchkunda is feeling himself very humble. And he is also, when light comes, all darkness is dispelled. And when darkness is dispelled, one can see every small dirt in the room, isn't it? Imagine this room is dark. We won't be able to see where is dirt. But as soon as whole room is lit up, we can see everything clearly. And we can see here is dark, here is dark. No? Here is dirt, here is dirt. Similarly, when one becomes enlightened, one can immediately see everything in his heart and he can immediately understand the entirety of his life. And then one may regret. One may lament. Krishna is saying, anybody who serves me will never lament. But here we see Muchkunda starts lamenting. As soon as he sees Krishna, He is lamenting. But this time, this lamentation different. Here he is lamenting, oh, I have uselessly wasted my human form of life. He is not lamenting that I served you. He is lamenting, I did not serve you. So, if you at all devotees lament after coming to Krishna consciousness, their lamentation is, oh, why did I come to Krishna consciousness so late? I should have come to Krishna early. Like once Jayadvat Maharaj was asked, is youth the right time to practice Krishna consciousness? Maharaj said, no. He said, childhood is Kaumaram Acharit Prabhu. One has to practice Krishna from childhood. Youth is too late. So if somebody comes in Krishna youth, he laments, oh, why did I waste my childhood in some childish proclivities? Someone laments. So here we just sang a song about Narottam Das Thakur. Hari Hari Vifale Janama Gaya. Manushya Janama Paya Radha Krishna Bhajiya. Janiya Shunya Vishakaya. So when one comes to Krishna consciousness and one receives the blessings of Guru Krishna, immediately he realizes, oh, I have uselessly wasted my life. He doesn't think, oh, just see how great I was. I have done so many things in my life. I have achieved this, I have accomplished this, and I have done such. He doesn't feel like that. He feels, oh, I have uselessly wasted my life. I did not practice Krishna consciousness sincerely. And I have Janiya Shunya, knowingly I have consumed poison by engaging myself in materialistic activities. Golokera Prema Dhana, Harinama Sankirtana, Ratina Janmilo Kenatai. Oh, Supreme Lord has appeared in form of holy names. Holy name is Golokera Prem, the topmost treasure, but unfortunately, I have not developed any attachment to holy names. Samsara Bishanale, Divanishi Hyajole, Judai to na koi no pae. So, day and night, my heart burns from the fire of the poison of worldliness. I have not taken means to relieve it. Because of material desires, my heart is always burning, hankering, lamentation. All the struggles are there because of impurity in my heart. But though I am struggling, I have not taken the medicine to relieve, extinguish the fire in my heart. So unfortunate. Brajendrandar Jai Sachi Sutta Hoila Sei, Balram Hoil Nitayam. It's such a great fortune that same Supreme Lord, Brajendranandan, Krishna, has appeared in form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sachi Sutta. Same Balramji has now appeared in form of Nityananda Prabhu. And they are delivering Dina Hina Yathachilo. Whoever are there fallen people, they are delivering by giving them Harinam. Harinama Uddharilo. Tara Sakshi Jagai Madai. They have delivered all the sinful people. And proof is Jagai Madai. They were so sinful. There are no sin which they had not performed. But they were also delivered by mercy of Sri Nityananda and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But still I am lying in this material world without attachment to Lord Nityananda, without attachment to Lord Gauranga, without attachment to holy name. Aha Prabhu Nanda Sutta Rushabana Sutta Yuddha Karuna Karo Ebara. So Narottam Das Thakur is praying, oh Supreme Lord, Krishna accompanied by daughter of Rushabanu, Srimati Radharani, please Karuna Karo Ebara. Please this time be merciful to me. Narottam Das Kai not Taiglia Ranga Pai. Oh Lord, please do not push me away from your beautiful reddish lotus feet. Toma bina kya acha mera. Who is there? Who is my beloved except for you? You are my only beloved. You are my only hope. And if you push me away, what is hope for me? So please be merciful to me. I have uselessly wasted my life, and now I don't want to waste my life anymore. Now I want to practice spiritual life very sincerely, seriously. So we see this is a lamentation or regret in the heart of a sincere devotee. And that regret, lamentation helps them to become more and more serious and determined in practice of spiritual life. Unless we regret about our past material engagements, we may not be able to take the spiritual life seriously. So here we see Muchkunda is a great king and he's lamenting, I uselessly wasted my life. He's not saying, my dear Lord, do you know who am I? All the Indras, Devtas, all this 33 crore, they took shelter of me. And I helped them. Not only I was king of this entire planet Earth, I was so great that even Devtas surrendered to me, Now what accomplishment, can you imagine? If you want to accomplish what Muchkunda has accomplished, how much efforts we'll have to do? How many lives we may have to struggle to come to that position? To come to the position of Muchkunda, to get the powers like Muchkunda, how many lifetimes we will have to endeavor? So Muchkunda has such power and such influence, but even after achieving such power and influence, what is feeling? He's lamenting, regretting, oh, I uselessly wasted my life. I forgot you, Krishna. And how I wasted my life being deluded by pride and false ego, thinking myself to be a great king, trying to conquer land. So here we see, with deep arrogance, I took myself to be body, which is material object like a pot of wall or like a pot or wall. Thinking myself a god among men, I traveled the earth, surrounded my charioteers, elephants, cavalry, foot soldiers, and generals, disregarding you in my deluding pride. A man obsessed with thoughts of what he thinks need to be done, intensely greedy and delighting in sense object, is suddenly confronted by you, who are ever alert, like a hungry snake licking its fang before a mouse. You appear before him as death. The body that at first rides high on fierce elephants or chariots, adorned with gold, and is known by the name king, is latter by your invincible power time, called faces, worms, and ashes. Somebody may be so puffed up, proud, fight, but finally is faced by death. And finally, everybody is transformed into either ashes, when his body is burned, he becomes ashes, or worms, is eaten by birds and other animals and becomes feces, or eaten by worms. Having conquered the entire circle of directions and thus being thus free of conflict, a man sits on a splendid throne, receiving praise from the leaders who were once his equals. But when he enters the woman's chamber, where sex pleasure is found, he is laid about like a pet animal, O Lord. So he's telling one may conquer one country after another, one king after another, and become unrivaled king, still actually never becomes conqueror, because even such unrivaled king is conquered by woman. He says such a king becomes pet dog in hands of his queens. A king who desires even greater power than he already has strictly performs his duties, carefully practicing austerity and foregoing sense enjoyment. But he whose urges are so rampant, thinking I am independent, supreme, cannot attain happiness. No matter how much austerity people do, no matter how much mind control, sense control they do, they can never become happy. When the material life of a wandering soul has ceased, O Achyuta, he may attain the association of your devotee. And when he associates with them, there awakens in him devotion unto you, who are the goal of devotees and the Lord of all causes and their effects. So here Jiva Goswami says this is Atishokti. He says that actually it is not that when material life sees one gets association devotees. It is other way around. When one associates with devotees, then in material life ceases. So by mercy of one's devotee, one can be relieved from this material cycle. My Lord, I think you have shown me mercy since my attachment to my kingdom has spontaneously ceased. Such freedom is prayed for by saintly rulers of vast empires who desire to enter the forest for a life of solitude. Oh, all powerful one, I desire no boon other than service to your lotus feet. So Lord said, ask any benediction. And here now he's saying, my dear Lord, I don't want any material benediction except service to your lotus feet. This boon is most eagerly sought by those free from material desires. Oh Hari, what enlightened person who worship you, the giver of benediction, would choose a boon that causes his own bondage? What is use of asking any other boon? Give me good health, give me good business, give me good family members. Let there be all increasing prosperity in all these things in my life. Let my glory spread everywhere. Let my opulence increase, influence. What is the use of asking all this benediction? This is just cause of bondage. Oh, therefore, O Lord, having put aside all objects of material desire which are bound to the modes of passion, ignorance, goodness, I am approaching you, the Supreme Person Godhead, for shelter. You are not covered by mundane designation. Rather, you are supreme absolute truth, full in pure knowledge and transcendental material modes. For so long I have been pained by troubles in this world and have been burning with lamentation. Now, if you see Muchkunda's life, Muchkunda was a great king. And then he went to heaven to help. And then he's taking rest. One may think, where is the misery in his life? But Muchkunda is saying, no. Actually, for so long I have been pained by troubles in this world and I have been burning with lamentation. Oh, I have wasted so much time. I did not serve you, my dear Lord. For a sincere devotee, to waste a single moment or to forget Krishna for a single moment can be cause of great lamentation. My six enemies are never satiated and I can find no peace. Therefore, O giver shelter, O Supreme Lord, please protect me. Protect me from all these enemies, six enemies in my heart. O Lord, in the midst of danger, I have by good fortune approached your lotus feet, which are truth and which thus makes one fearless and free of sorrow. So, Muchkunda expresses his lamentation that I have uselessly wasted life. And my dear Lord, now I don't want any material benediction. Only thing I want is, I want to serve your lotus feet. That's all. So somehow or other, please bless me with this opportunity to serve your lotus feet. I seek shelter of you. Only you can protect me from all the anarthas, from all the impurities, all the inauspiciousness. You are Supreme Lord. So when Lord heard it, Lord was so pleased with Muchkunda and his prayers. So Supreme Lord said, Oh Emperor, great ruler, your mind is pure and potent. Though I entice you with benedictions, your mind was not overcome by material desire. Lord said, I just wanted to test you. I just allowed you. Ask anybody. But I could see that your mind is so pure. And you are not overcome by any this thing. So sometimes a lot of devotees may allure us with material things. So one has to be careful. Not that because Lord is saying we can, accept it. So here he says, oh, I was testing you and your mind is so pure. Great. You did not ask anything material. Understand that I enticed you with this benediction just to prove that you would not be deceived. The intelligence of my unalloyed devotees is never diverted by material blessings. I just wanted to prove how great you are. You are my unalloyed devotee, and my unalloyed devotees are never diverted by material blessings. The minds of non-devotees who engage in such practices as pranayam are not fully cleansed of material desires. Thus, O king, material desires are again seen to arise in their minds. So there are so many people, they practice so many other forms of spiritual life. They may do karma yoga, jnana yoga, hatha yoga, ashtanga yoga, whatever different, so many different types of other spiritual practices may be there. Krishna is saying those who practice other forms of devotion, other forms of spirituality, they cannot be thoroughly purified. The way my devotees are purified. Anybody who practices bhakti, he can be thoroughly purified. Other paths, practitioners can be purified to great extent, but not completely purified. And for those who are practicing other path, even they are purified, again material desires may surface, and again they may succumb to material desires, and again they may fall back in this material pool. And we see famous examples of Vishwamitra Muni, so many 60,000 years tapasya, and then again trapped. But any devotee does devotional service, then he is protected by Krishna. By Krishna's arrangement, by Krishna's mercy, devotee has that exalted position. So now Krishna is telling, O Muchkunda, wander this earth at will, with your mind fixed on me. May you always possess such unfailing devotion for me. So Krishna is blessing Muchkunda that may you remain exalted devotee, and yadrichaya, you can just wander around at will. Wander around will means, if you say, now Prabhu, you just do whatever you want to do, you know. Now your name is not in any schedule, you are not bound by any rules, you just do whatever you like to do. When we are told, now Prabhu, now you have become very senior, very exalted, now you just do whatever you want to do. Here Krishna is saying, wander this earth with at will. Just whatever you want to do, okay, no problem. Yadrichaya, like Narad Muni and Sukdev Goswami, Yadrichaya, wherever they will, they just move. What does that mean is, actually that means they are so much in tune with wish of Lord that they are 100% instrument in the hands of Lord. Wander at your will means they wander as per the will of Krishna. Exactly what Krishna wants them to do, they will do. Narad Muni, exactly where Krishna wants him, he will be there. So they are like 100% tuned with, Krishna's will. That doesn't mean that they will whimsically do anything now. They have made their will one with Supreme Lord's will. If you tell, oh, you are now so exalted, you do whatever you want to, they will do exactly what Krishna wants to do. They will not do any sense gratification. Not a single moment they will waste in some. They will use 100%. So devotee, more they become exalted, more they are given freedom, because Krishna knows that they will not misuse the freedom. More one is impure, more there are rules and regulation. More one becomes pure, more he is free from rules and regulation. And one becomes pure devotee, no rules and regulation, because he is controlled by love, Krishna, and then every moment he is guided by Krishna, and every moment he does everything for pleasure of Krishna. So therefore this personality is wander around the world, being orchestrated by Krishna, delivering everybody, benefiting everybody, bringing good fortune in lives of millions of people. Like Narad Muni, bringing good fortune in so many lives. Yadrichaya. So, and then Krishna is telling, may you always possess unfailing devotion to me. Can you imagine what a benediction? Huh? So we'll just end in 2 minutes, because we are just reading the prayers, because today is last verse. So may you have unfailing devotion to me. Krishna is telling, what a benediction. Huh? So, and then he says, further thing he says, because you followed the principle of Kshatriya, you kill living beings while hunting and performing other duties. You must vanquish the sins thus incurred by carefully executing penances while remaining surrendered to me. And in today's verse, Krishna is telling, everybody can repeat, O King, in your very next life, you will become an excellent Brahmana, the greatest well-wisher of all creatures, and certainly come to me alone. Now two things are there. Here is Muchkunda. Krishna is saying, you are such a great devotee. He has no material desires. And he's saying that you have to stay back here in material world. In next life, you will become Brahmana. In next life, you will achieve perfection. And he's saying, you have done a lot of sin by killing so many, animals and hunting as a king. So we see, even Narad Muni, if you see Narad Muni life as a Narada boy, when he went after meeting Bhaktivedanta, and then his mother died, and then he went to north, and then he went and he started meditating, and then in meditation he had such a beautiful darshan of Lord, and he was so ecstatic. He had asked the Satvik Vikar. He was so ecstatic, so blissful, and all of a sudden that darshan went off. And then he became so disturbed. Oh, I am not able to see that beautiful form. Again he tried hard to again meditate and see that beautiful form. Again he repeated, tried to get that beautiful darshan of Lord. But he was not able to get darshan. And then there was Akashvani. That, my dear Narada boy, my darshan is not achieved by those who are not completely purified. And those who have not done enough service, they can't get my. I gave you some darshan now, and now you continue your devotional service. You continue glorifying Supreme Lord, continue singing and wandering all over world. And at time of death, you will be able to give up material body, and you will get spiritual body, and then you will achieve perfection. So now my wonder, is it that Narad Muni was not pure, and no? And if he was not pure, why did Lord give him darshan? And so it is said, Acharya has explained that actually Narad Muni was pure. His all material contamination gone, but still Lord wanted to. His love was actually it is called that child love. Child love for God was in very small way. Lord wanted that love to be enhance the quality and intensity of love, and that could be enhanced by separation. There's union and separation. So Lord gave the separation so that he can hanker more, and by that hankering, his love in the heart can be blossom more. So Krishna knows how to intensify that love and give devotees even greater experience. So similarly, actually Muchkunda is actually purified just by seeing darshan, and but still Lord want to make him even more intensify his devotional service. So there is union and then there's separation, and in that separation one hankers, and again it becomes more intense in devotional service, and that in that way it becomes more glorious. And Lord wants to use such devotees in his mission. So, so such great devotees, Lord engages them in preaching purpose. So even if sometimes some devotees become very exalted, God may ask them to stay back and help in preaching service. Sometimes we see in our college preaching, some devotees from first year to fourth year, they are very nicely practicing Krishna consciousness. After fourth year, they are passing out. Sometimes they want to become full-time devotees. Sometimes they want, they're enough with these things. But still, we tell them, oh, you stay back. Maybe you do MTech also. 2 years more you stay in college, you can preach more. So they may stay back. They may not be interested in this thing, but then they stay back so that they can serve the mission. And similarly, Lord also has special service for all devotees. So he had a special service for Muchkunda. This is very glorious opportunity actually, to be instruments of Lord, instrument love and compassion, preach. That is the purpose of this material existence, to deliver all the conditions so to take them back to it. So this is a most glorious service. And devotees, for them it doesn't matter. Devotees are praying, my dear Lord, whether you send me to hell or heaven, I don't care. I am interested in your service. So pure devotees are already delivered. For them it doesn't matter whether they go back home, back to God, or they stay back. They're already liberated. They are Jivan Mukta. And they are engaged by Lord for in the service of Lord, especially in preaching the message of Lord. So Krishna is saying, you become best well-wisher of everybody. Actually, Suradam Sarvabhutana. Lord is the best well-wisher. And because devotee is surrendered to Lord, he also becomes well-wisher. And Lord is able to be best well-wisher, act as best well-wisher in lives of conditioned soul through the agency of his devotees. So here it is said, Lord Krishna and his pure devotee work together to rescue the fallen souls from ocean of illusion. This is the real purport of Krishna Navami. So even person who is delivered, he may stay back, becoming instrument in the hands of Lord, becoming best well-wisher of everybody by giving everybody Krishna, by giving everybody all names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. By giving everybody message of Krishna. So thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Go Premanande. Anybody has any comment or question before we conclude? Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.